I've been on Adapalene for 90 days now, and here's everything that you need to know or you can expect if you're on the same retinoid journey. And if you haven't watched my 60-day update, definitely go check that out first. I'll have it linked down in the description. But today we're covering everything from day 60 to day 90. And if you're new here, welcome or welcome back to the BeSoGuud channel, where we're all about elevating ourselves from the inside out. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get into it. Starting off with a brief recap of my skin type. I am 28 years old and I have very combination, more oily in my T-zone. So this area here, extremely acne prone, extremely sensitive skin. I have a little bit of rosacea and I am very prone to closed comedones and a lot of non-inflammatory acne. So that pebble texture like acne. Also, I'll have my how to get rid of clogged pores video linked in the description below as well if you want a really big deep dive on how I initially got rid of around 80 to 90% of my clogged pores before I actually got an Adapalene. But that is my skin type, very sensitive, very acne prone. And because I'm 28, I'm also looking to tackle that acne and that congestion and still hopefully get a little bit of anti-aging benefits, which we'll talk about as we get into this video. Also, a disclaimer, I am not a dermatologist, I am not an esthetician, I am just a girl who has spent hours researching, struggled with acne for years, have spent so much money on God knows how many products, and just a lot of trial and error and experimentation on myself. So everything that I share today is based on my own personal research and experience. So I just want to put that out there. Now let's get into everything that's changed from day 60 to day 90, starting off with the dreaded purge. I can finally say that probably after day 70 to 80, I started to finally not purge as much. Like I just mentioned, I did get rid of probably 80% of my clogged pores and everything before getting on Adapalene. I do think that if I would have gone straight for Adapalene right off the bat, my purging would have been so much worse. But because I was working with a lot clearer of a canvas, that personally helped me not experience such a strong purge. And in my 60-day video, I mentioned that I was working my way up to using a 2-time-a-week frequency. I can finally say that now I've jumped up to 3 times a week. And I did experience a little bit of purging at the beginning, but then my skin got acclimated and really started to like the 3-time-a-week frequency. I started experiencing less irritation, less burning, less stinging, all the things that you try to avoid as much as possible when you're starting any type of vitamin A. My texture has also really improved. I'm gonna come closer to the camera. For context, I am not wearing any tinted sunscreen. I'm just wearing clear sunscreen. I do have some mascara and a little bit of Color Science blush and some lip gloss, but that is really it. I'm not wearing any type of foundation or tinted sunscreen or anything, just so you guys could get a very clear update on how things are looking. If you're coming from my last video, you know that one of the things that I wanted to keep track of, I had a very deep forehead expression line. I think it's getting better. I could be absolutely crazy. I don't know. You guys tell me if you see a difference. I still have it. It's not like it's completely gone, but I feel like this line that used to be here has gotten a lot smaller, which is huge. That was one of the big anti-aging things that I was curious to keep track of and see if Adapalene would help with those anti-aging benefits. Granted, this is only a 90-day update, so obviously with more time, the progress should increase even more, but that is my close-up, and those are the things that I have been noticing. I am still using my skincare tracker to keep track of my frequency, look back on and see the combinations that work for me. If you haven't printed this out, it is a free download that I'll have linked down below that just really helps you maintain track of what you're using, the frequency of how much you're using things, especially when you're trying to use actives and things like that. I think it's so helpful to track them so that you also have them to go back to and see what was working, what wasn't working, and also so that you don't forget, because there have been so many times where I have forgotten, is it my Adapalene night? Is it my azelaic acid night? And it's just really nice to have something to be able to track. As for my Adapalene night routine, I have kept everything exactly the same. I start off my double cleanse at night with some Bioderma micellar water. I love this stuff. I don't think I could live without this. If you've watched any of my other skincare videos, you know that I don't like to oil cleanse. Oil cleansing breaks me out, so I reach for just Bioderma micellar water. And then I go in with my water-based cleanser, which we have the Dr. Sam's Flawless Cleanser. I am obsessed with this cleanser. It's jelly-like. It's very weird to get used to at first because it's not extremely foaming, and you would think as someone with combination oily skin that I would want something really stripping, but this has been great at maintaining my skin barrier happy, even with cleansing in the morning and cleansing at night and not stripping it while I'm on Adapalene. And Adapalene, again, can be really irritating and drying. So this has been a great cleanser. Also, I'll have all of these linked down below in my Shop My, so you can find everything that I'm talking about. As for my hydrating serum step, I use this Michelle Corley Hyaluronic Plumping Serum. So this is my hyaluronic acid serum. That is my holy grail as well. It's fungal acne safe, has no pore clogging ingredients. It's literally just made with aloe vera juice, sodium hyaluronate, glycerin, panthenol, allantoin, and that's it. So this is amazing. And I layer this under my Adapalene before I let it dry for like 10 to 15 minutes. And then I put my Adapalene on top. So this is my little buffer method instead of using moisturizer because I'm so clog prone. I just use a lightweight hydrating serum, let it completely dry, and then I go in with my Adapalene, which if you see it, I've said this before, it does look different than the Differin or the La Roche-Posay Adapalene because this I did get in Argentina from my derm, but it's the same thing, 0.1% Adapalene. However, this does come formulated with 4% niacinamide in here. So just note that my skin personally really likes niacinamide, so I have no issues with that. And then next up, my ride or die moisturizer. I've talked about this in literally every single video because I'm obsessed with her. It's the La Roche-Posay Tolerant Sensitive Fluid. Also great for extremely acne prone, extremely sensitive, rosacea, fungal acne safe, lightweight for summertime. I live in Florida where it's hot AF, it's humid, and everything that you put on your skin, you just want it to absorb and just become part of it. You don't want to feel like there's all this sweat and grime on your face, and I personally love that moisturizer. And then of course, the most important thing ever, if you're on any type of retinoid, we got our SPF, which I also just made a video breaking down my favorite 5 SPFs as someone with sensitive, very acne prone skin. So definitely check that video out if you want some more sunscreen recommendations. And I also do swatches and go over in detail the ingredients. And this is one of the sunscreens that is in that video. So we got SPF, and that's it. The main takeaways here is that you want everything to be extremely gentle, very supporting ingredients. You don't want anything extremely harsh. You want to make sure that you're keeping your skin barrier happy and that you're not just piling on a bunch of different actives. I do still use azelaic acid and benzoyl peroxide. I will make an updated weekly skincare routine so you can see exactly how I'm still incorporating these other actives while I am now using Adapalene 3 times a week. I've actually gotten that request on a few of my comments in my video, so I'll make sure, I promise, I will make a video on my updated weekly routine so you can see how I cycle in azelaic acid, benzoyl peroxide, and Adapalene. As for my thoughts 90 days in, I am kind of loving it, I'm not gonna lie. I have tried incorporating Adapalene so many times before. I've made all the mistakes that you can possibly make. If you want me to make a separate video just detailing the mistakes that I've made, I will happily do so. Let me know in the comments if you want me to be more specific on something in particular or anything else that you want me to cover. That being said, I think some of the main points that have allowed me to enjoy the benefits of Adapalene is that I did start extremely slow. Like I said in my 60-day video, I started with 1 time a week for over a month, and then I slowly built it up to 2 times a week. I was at 2 times a week for also over like a month and a half. And there are even some weeks where if I feel like my skin is red or I'm starting to see the signs of a damaged barrier, whether that's I'm feeling a little bit of stinging, I'm seeing a little bit more redness than normally, or just my everyday products are feeling a little bit different than they normally do, then I just cut back on the frequency. Instead of doing 3 times that week, I will put in a rest night where I'm just using my moisturizer, keeping it simple, listening to your skin as you're going on this journey, giving her what she needs as she's getting acclimated is so important and sometimes so overlooked. For the sake of wanting faster results, you think, I need to use this every single day from the get-go. And it does work for some people. Some people have very tolerant skin. I have a friend, which, hi Juliana, if you're watching this. One time we were talking about skincare and she texted me and she told me she had 10% benzoyl peroxide on her face and she had a retinol on her face. And I was like, how did you not wake up with a chemical burn all over your face? Because if I would have done that, I would be in the hospital. Like I would be raw. And she was basically fine. So this just goes to show that everyone's skin type is different. So you really want to listen to what yours is telling you. Know that there are going to be stages of a little bit of purging, a little bit of irritation, some flaking. That is totally normal, but you just want to make sure that as you're going through the process that you're paying attention and also just keeping your skin barrier healthy. Another thing to also really prioritize is to always wear your SPF, because adapalene makes your skin a lot more sensitized to the sun and you will be more prone to either acne scars, getting hyperpigmentation, even melasma, things like that. Because you're having fresher, babier skin underneath coming out, you really want to make sure that you're prioritizing your SPF and using hats if you need to, and just really making sure that you're protecting your skin. So yeah, that wraps up my 90-day adapalene journey update. I know it's a little bit overdue. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, so I'm sorry that it took me so long. I'm gonna come to the camera one more time. Again, my skin is not perfect, but that is not the point. We're just striving for progress, and my skin has come a long way from where she was over a year and a half ago. So I am so happy and so grateful. If you're someone that has struggled with acne, you know how much brain space it consumes in your head and how it can lower your self-confidence. And it really does affect almost every other aspect of your life when you're deep in the trenches. Also, side note, if you're someone that's on your adapalene journey and you are purging a lot and you're struggling with picking at your skin, definitely check out my skin picking story and my skin picking video. As someone that struggled with dermatillomania, I share all the tools and everything that helped me finally stop picking at my skin, because my skin did not look like this a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It was really bad and I felt so much shame around that. So if that's something that, if you're watching this, you're struggling with, definitely go check that video out. And just know I'm living proof it does get better. So I hope this video gave you clarity, whether you're just starting out or you're somewhere in the middle. Everyone's skin is so different, and just know that you're not alone in this. And let me know in the comments where you are on your skin journey, on your adapalene journey, or drop any questions. I always love chatting with you guys down there. And if you found this video helpful and you're into skincare, wellness, and all things becoming your best self, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and makes sure that you don't miss the next update. And as always, I am so grateful to have you here, and I hope to catch you in one of my next videos that YouTube thinks you'll love here next.